What's going on, Aberrant Garage fans? For those of you who've never been here before, I'm Anthony, and we are cruising today in our 94 3/4 ton Suburban. It's been solid axle swapped, and right now we're actually on High Mountain Road, which goes between Lake Lopez in California to a little town called Pozo, and we are bound for the Garcia Ridge Trail. The Forest Service classifies this as an intermediate trail. I've been out this way before once or twice. We tried taking our previous truck down Garcia Ridge and we didn't get very far. So today we're going to take the old Suburban and see what we can do. Starting from the Lake Lopez side at the beginning of High Mountain Road, you'll have about a 12.5 to 13 mile trek to get to the intersection where the start of the Garcia Ridge Trail is. From this intersection, if you continue straight through, you'll wind up in Pozo, whereas if you make a left-hand turn, you'll go up to the High Mountain Campground, and there's also a Condor overlook area up that way. To the right, you'll find the sign designating the trailhead of the Garcia Ridge Trail. Here in this intersection, there's plenty of room for people to be able to get out of their trucks and let the little ones get out and stretch their legs and run around a bit. And likewise, it gives an opportunity for those of us with the rigs to get our tires aired down. Today on the trail, I've got Josh with his 2016 JK Unlimited running with me, and he's riding on 35-inch tires. After doing a little bit of game planning, it was time to go ahead and get in the truck, get the little one strapped into his seat, and prepare to head down the trail.
Let's get started.
Hey. You want to take off your jacket?
After a little bit of coaxing, we finally got the little one into his seat and got him all strapped in, and we were finally ready to head on down the trail. The Forest Service says that the Garcia Ridge Trail is approximately 4 miles in length. We weren't sure initially if that was 4 miles one direction or 4 miles round trip. I can tell you now that that is a 4 mile one-way designator, which means that this trail is roughly 8 miles total, plus however long you spend on High Mountain Road. Now, the start of the trail isn't really that difficult. You have a relatively steep incline that is somewhat loose dirt, and you have these rocks like this section right here sprinkled all along this first incline. To say that this would be an impossible task and requires a rig like mine to get up would just be completely inaccurate. You can really make it up this trail probably on a stock Jeep with stock tires, as long as you use 4 lows. Okay, so I may not have accurately represented the length of this initial climb.
No, I want to.
Well, I did say that the initial climb does have rocks and is somewhat loose and steep. It does go on for seemingly ever. Now, that being said, that was kind of a common theme throughout the day, where we are running a ridgeline, so there are lots of ascensions and going downhill and stuff like that. However, most of them are relatively smooth and easy. This one here had the big rock right in the middle and lots of loose dirt. It was probably one of the more difficult spots, but everything else is pretty easy. Now there is an optional obstacle coming up that we are going to challenge our rigs on a little bit later today. Now one thing that I do want to say about all the work that we've done on the suspension on this thing is I just wanted to mention how improved over IFS the ride is. I mean, I just can't say enough about it. You know, even this little dude in the back seat, he had a smile on his face all day long. He was just having a good time, being silly, playing with his feet, and just acting like a little clown in the back seat. We couldn't be happier about that. Now, as we got down to the bottom of this particular hill, we made it to the point that I had been previously on this trail in my last truck, and we didn't make it any farther. This particular spot is only about a half mile down the trail, and it is a place that later in this video we'll be coming to have a little more fun and try and get some redemption. After a quick word with Josh, it was time to head down the trail again, and I have to give a huge shout out to my wife for taking the time to jump out of the truck and grab some pretty cool shots here and there along the trail. Now at this point, we still weren't sure whether or not the 4-mile indicator that we had seen for this trail was from start to the end and back or not. And it just seemed like every hill we crest, we just see more of the trail going farther. But we weren't really complaining because, I mean, look at these views. What a beautiful, beautiful place this is out in the Los Padres National Forest. As we were coming down this hill, I couldn't help but think how grateful I was that Josh had asked me to get out on this trail with him. You know, our kids were all in school that day, and we found ourselves with a day off. And he thought, you know, why not see about getting the trucks out, or at least the truck and the Jeep, that is, and get the tires a little dirty. And initially I was a little apprehensive, had some other things going on that day, but I thought, you know what? Let's put that stuff beside and let's get out on the trail. Now, we did have a little concern that day just because of timing with our kids still being in school and all. And this trail, the start of the trail is about an hour and a half from home. But we wanted to get out and try to enjoy the most out of that day that we possibly could. And I definitely say that we were successful in that adventure. Now, about the time that we really started considering whether or not we needed to turn around, we came around this corner and saw this pipe going across the road, which made us pause and wonder, was this the end of the trail? And sure enough, we had reached the end. I'm so thankful that we hadn't turned around like we had thought a couple of times. But we enjoyed the view a little bit. We let Easton get out and run around and throw some rocks and get some energy out, which he was definitely needing. And I mean, he even had a great time the whole day with us. After a short while of stretching our legs, talking about the trail and all the scenery, it was time to get going back down the road. Now, I will say, going back, we did take a bit of a more sportly approach to our return back towards the beginning of the trail. we were definitely starting to run a little short on time, and I definitely wanted to make sure we got back to that obstacle at that half-mile mark, and had an opportunity to play around on that a little bit. Here you can see in Easton's eyes just how smooth this truck rides down this trail. It was getting later in the day, and he was definitely starting to get a little tired, and even amongst all of the bumps and stuff, he was able to just relax in his seat. Right? I'm telling you, it's crazy just how well it works. Like, no hesitation, it just goes. It's almost cheating. Much faster than we had made it to the end of the trail than it was to get back to this point. We were finally back at the obstacle that I have been thinking about quite a bit over the last few years since the last time I was here. After taking a few moments to celebrate our victory, we decided to go check on Easton and found out that he had in fact slept through the entire thing.
So we are trying to go super fast because we have to go pick up the boys.
I'm excited. I don't know about you.
All right, everybody. As you can see, we made it back from the trail today. We were a little late getting the kids picked up, but that's okay because Grandpa had us covered on that one. So we really appreciate him helping us out with that. We had a great time with Josh today out on the trail. The trucks performed great. His Jeep did awesome. Better than we thought it would, actually. If you like what we're doing here, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Every time you do that, it really helps us out. And don't forget that we're not only on YouTube, but we're on Facebook, Instagram, and we have a merch store which goes back to help support the channel at aberrantgarage.com. We got t-shirts, hats, everything for you, for your kids, and we just really appreciate any amount of support you can help us with. Thank you.